Hello, my name is Mary Moore, and I'm a member of the League of Women Voters of Thurston County. And I'm very glad to be here this morning with two candidates for the Lacey City Council. We have Jason Hearn on my immediate left and Michael Steadman. They are both vying for Lacey City Council position number 1. First of all, I'd like to say a little something about the League of Women Voters. The League of Women Voters is a nonprofit, nonpartisan political organization that encourages the informed and active participation of citizens in government. The League influences public policy through education and advocacy. The League is open to anyone who subscribes to its purposes and its policies, and that includes you guys. So I want to thank, on behalf of the League, I want to thank TCTV for working with us on these candidate forums. We've been a partnership of doing this for over 20 years, and so this is quite something. Now, gentlemen, each one of you is going to have 2 minutes for your opening remarks. And since you're the new boy on the block, Michael, I'm going to start with you.
Hello, I'm Michael Steadman. I'm running for position 1 on Lacey City Council. I'm just a concerned business person who served 8 years in the United States Marine Corps. My kids learned to swim in the parks and recs. And just very concerned, like I was saying, enough to get out of my comfort zone, get out there and just get the word out. I have a lot of committee experience. I currently serve on the South Sound Wrestling Officials Association that services referees to the wrestling programs at all the local high schools and middle schools in the South Sound, covering the 5 counties. Lacey Corporate Center, Owners Association, where I'm a vice president, and the West Park Owners Association, where I'm also a vice president. I am also a resident board member of Hawks Prairie Community Associations with 1,100 residents. I know firsthand how the military families the difficulties they have facing deployment and wanting a safe environment. My twin brother's a sheriff's deputy in Yakima County. I know that first responders and civil service is very important. And like I said before, my kids learn to swim in the parks and recs. And so the parks and recs are very important to me. Having said that, I'm not one to talk on my living room. I'm one to get up and do something about it. Thank you.
Thank you. And our incumbent, Jason Hearn.
Thank you. My name is Jason Hearn, and I'm running for re-election to Lacey City Council. During my tenure on the council, we've accomplished a lot. Mullen Road Extension was completed. Carpenter Road redevelopment is going to be done soon and on time. The Regional Athletic Center opened. The Gateway Center plan was published. Cabela is opened. And I also led the discussion, and I'm leading the discussion, to make Lacey a B&O tax-free city. Recently, the council adjusted our warehouse ordinance rules and limits, which brought Harbor Wholesale to Lacey and created over 200 family wage jobs for our community. More recently, Trader Joe's announced that they'll be bringing in a distribution center into the Northeast Lacey area, and that'll create initially about 200 jobs and up to 400 jobs very soon. So we're very, very excited about that. I'm the chair of the Transportation Committee. I serve on Finance and Economic Development. I serve on Joint Animal Services, Community Relations. I work with recycling, with solid waste and recycling. I also work with the Emergency Medical Services. I'm seeking re-election to help Lacey keep growing strong. We have a fairly young council, and should I be re-elected, myself and Virgil Clarkson, the deputy mayor, will be the only council members that have more than 4 years of experience on this council. We recently elected a new city manager after 24 years of great city management by Greg Cuyo, and we look forward to working with our new city manager, Scott Spence. I encourage you to help me get reelected, become part of the campaign, and definitely vote for Jason Hearn for reelection so that we can keep Lacey going strong and not drop the ball. Thank you very much, and thank you for your support in the past.
Well, gentlemen, let's start the questions. And this time, Jason, I'm going to pick on you first. And this is your first question. In this time of dwindling revenues, what are your budget priorities for Lacey? Can current services be sustained? And if not, what cuts or revenue increases do you propose?
That's a good question. These are definitely challenging economic times for many. And during our last work session, we looked at the projections for the coming years. And we celebrate right now that Lacey is strong. We haven't had any layoffs on our staff, cutting services. We have had some attrition, not hiring positions and things like that. And we've had a stand-hold budget produced this time and for the next year. Transportation is definitely a priority because we are still growing. And as the chair of the Transportation Committee, I helped publish the College Street Corridor Improvement Plan, which was long overdue when I got on the council. And that'll be ready for funding, should funding come. And we're restarting on that program by putting some roundabouts near 22nd, which improves safety for the school area. Maintaining our existing services is a priority. Bringing new businesses in, like Harbor Wholesale and Trader Joe's Distribution, will definitely help our revenue situation, as it has already in Hawks Prairie area and the good development that's there. So I want to continue to seek growth through economic development in Lacey.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Michael, do you want me to read the question
Yes, please.
again? Okey-doke. In this time of dwindling revenues, what are your budget priorities for Lacey? Can current services be sustained? And if not, what cuts or revenue increases do you propose?
I believe they can be sustained. The reason why I got involved is because I am a business person here in town. I'm very concerned, not just for my business, but for all the businesses out there. The city council, with their regulations, has a track record of backing up after the fact. And you know, they say they're pro-business, but I don't believe they're as pro-business or as pro-friendly, business-friendly as they can be. I know that several regulations, Jason mentioned one, the 200,000 square foot ordinance, they restricted business for a period of time and they went elsewhere and then backed up their position and changed it, which was smart because it did bring in Harbor Wholesale and several other businesses. That's how you attract future business, but they had a practice of not doing that before.
Okay. Well, Michael, you get this next question. And given your prior answer, what do you think are the 3 greatest challenges for Lacey in the next 4 years, other than the budget?
I believe water is the #1 issue. You can't grow without water. People take showers, people drink, businesses use a lot of water. There's a little handcuff with that situation with the Department of Ecology. Lacey's been doing a good job of conserving water. I've learned that they've used the same water since 2002, which is good. But you have to continue conserving water as much as possible. Storm drain is another huge issue. That's you know, that water makes it to the sound, and you know, it's not good for the environment. I believe that, you know, having said that, I have a good track record with my business. I also recycle. I'm green power with Thurston Energy, 100% green power signed up in my house, all that stuff. I love the outdoors and fishing and everything that goes with it, hiking, all that, and we need it to be there. It's a renewable resource. We need to take care of that, and everybody has a responsibility, and probably more so on businesses in the city. That's about it.
Jason, what's your response?
You
What do you
bet.
think are the 3 greatest challenges?
Well, as you can tell, Lacey is definitely growing, and water definitely is a challenge. We've come a long way in water. We've picked up new water rights. We've traded some with Olympia. There's word yesterday at a committee meeting that we could be picking up a couple more water right wells. So we're making great progress on bringing in water. Transportation, I have to mention it again. You can see that it gets really tight there on College Street and Martin Way in the evenings. I think our I-5 corridor and our onto and off ramps of I-5 are challenging, and we're going to have to work with the state on that. So I think as we grow, transportation will have to stay ahead of the game. The cost of healthcare is very expensive, and it costs a lot for the city for that. And our staff, our valued staff, we have a very low turnover rate, and we have employees that have been with Lacey for 40 years. We would definitely want to keep them, but the cost of healthcare and insurance is very high. So I think that's going to be a challenge to the budget. And we want to also preserve the Gateway Center project so that that development works very, very well.
Okay, good. All right. So you get the next one, the first bat. Lacey's growth, as everywhere, is currently, well, I'm going to go on to the next part of this question. How do you envision the growth that will surely come, particularly in the Hawks Prairie area and on the St. Martin's campus?
I'm sorry, the question again?
How do you envision the growth
Sure.
that will happen?
Well, the Hawkesbury area is just a fantastic study. The infrastructure is pretty good there. If you can see, there's several roundabouts. Some would say that Lacey invented the roundabouts in this area because other communities are following, but that kind of infrastructure and pre-planning is really paving the way. With the recent news of the Trader Joe's distribution center, we're probably going to have to look at stepping up our plans for a truck access road to I-5 so that we can separate some trucking from residential. I envision the growth to be very strong in that area. Joint Base Lewis McCord is huge, and it's going to grow. And we're working closely with them right now to coordinate efforts to manage that growth. And so Lacey has a very good track record of growth management, and we also work with the state and the state laws regarding growth management. So I think we're ahead of the curve, and we're just waiting for that to happen, and we're seeing it happen every day up in Hawks Prairie area. South Puget Sound Community College is planning a very big expansion on the other side of the freeway. I think that'll be a huge improvement to the area with that development, and the campus plans are just gorgeous, environmentally sound as well. If we can maintain the vision of the Gateway Center with the new owner of that property, we'll have mixed-use retail and living in the same community. We'll have pedestrian streets. We'll have a very beautiful planned community in Hawks Prairie at the Gateway Center.
And what about the St. Martin's campus?
About the St. Martin's campus here, well, we've recently changed the name of 6th Avenue to Abbey Way as a request from St. Martin's University, and they've always been a big partner of us. We share, we're neighbors. We share with City Hall, and absolutely, St. Martin's is a huge part of our community, and we just continue to foster that relationship.
Okay. Thank you. Would you like to respond as well?
Yes, ma'am. I live out at Hawks Prairie. Very proud of the fact. Like I said, I've been a resident member on the board out there at Hawks Prairie, which includes Jubilee since the inception of residents. What I don't like about what I see in the future is more roundabouts that are one lane that you can't expect these hundreds of trucks every day to be going through these one-lane roundabouts. Everybody talks about safety. That's a safety issue. Having said that, Hawks Prairie area, it's going to grow. It's going to be beautiful. St. Martin's put Lacey on the map, essentially. They've worked hand in hand with the city for decades, and I don't see it not continuing that way.
Okay. So, Michael, Lacey enjoys the greatest population diversity among the cities, all the cities in Thurston County. How do you meet the needs of your community members?
Well, first of all, I believe the reason why they have such a diverse ethnicity is because of the military background, the strong military veteran presence here in the town. I think you meet their needs by getting more organized. Parks is a good way, brings people together. Community center, stuff like that. Like I said before, I've been in the military. I know what it's like. I know the military life. I know that moms and dads aren't always home. Me and several guys with deployed families have gone through the neighborhood and helped them put bird cages on their vents, stuff like that to help them out. It's just getting involved. It's getting down to grassroots. People every day think they're military, but they don't show them things. It goes hand in hand with public service also. Fire department, police department. They all are out there every day working hard for us, doing the dirty work, if you will. Like I said, I think just getting involved, using the parks, using whatever means you can find, they'll welcome you with open arms.
Thank you. Jason?
We discussed this at our work session last year, and we had a great discussion. And some of the ideas that came out of that were a diversity fair that we're putting on to encourage ethnic communities to become engaged and interact with each other and with the city, because we definitely want that. There's lots of different communities that really need to be engaged, because some of those communities tend to not be engaged at this time. There's other forms of diversity too. We have a very large senior population. We recently expanded the senior center. We're very proud of that. So seniors are a very big part of our community, including Jubilee and Panorama retirement centers. They're a big part of, plus the military, just a huge part of our community. So we seek to engage all those groups and make Lacey as strong as it is. Do that.
Very good. Okie dokie. And so the next question goes to you, Jason, and that is, how important do you think continued efforts are to expand and develop a city center for Lacey? Why?
Well, I think it's very important because our citizenry is asking for it. They're looking for a senior center.
For years?
For a city center for years. And so that's why I'm so excited about the Gateway plan. It's such a great opportunity for the city to plan a city center from the beginning and involve residential, involve retail, and plan the traffic, involve parks and museums and another library. It could just be such a wonderful opportunity to be a shining star. And the cornerstone of that, the Cabela's, is there and thriving. And there are already many community events at Cabela's. They're a great partner with us, and they use their parking lot. In fact, the Family Military Support Day is today, and I'm going to be heading up there after this event to be a part of that. And there's many events that are there, and we just want that city to grow and thrive, and we're just watching and waiting for the new owner to be able to engage that new owner of that property and hopefully share our vision with that owner, and they can partner with us, whomever that might be. So we're very excited about that. And we're staying very close to that and listening and engaging as much as we can to welcome whomever invests in that center. And we've actually, when we've put the plans together, a lot of it is really vested and tight, but we want the new owner to feel that their investment is an investment in a partnership, because that's how we've been successful in the past, and that's how we're going to be successful going forward. We're very excited about Gateway.
Michael.
City center, very important. It goes hand in hand with senior center, stuff like that. It brings young and old together, you know, whether it's playing cribbage or pinochle or bridge. It's just community involvement. It's something I grew up doing. I don't just say that. I used to go down with my grandparents and my aunt and uncles to the senior center and play cribbage and, you know, just little guy. And it bridges gaps that would normally be there and gives you common ground. It's very important to me. I know there's a huge need for it. Where the money's going to come from, who knows? You know, when you free up a business and lessen the regulations on them, that brings in more tax base. That's what builds city centers. That's what builds the infrastructure and makes your city strong. But there is definitely a need for it.
Thank you. Well, this last question, we'll start with you, Michael. From your experience in Lacey, do you think the use of traffic cameras is both justified and effective?
The only justification, and this is the only positive I see in it, is safety, and it's not going to prevent accidents. It's basically a revenue source is the only other somewhat positive thing I can get out of it, but a lot of that money doesn't even stay locally. It goes down to Arizona or something by the people that manage it. I believe in my heart of hearts it's just another invasion of privacy, if you will. I don't like it. You could get rid of that camera that costs $400,000 or somewhere around that price tag and put 3 more officers on the streets and make the city safer and less evasive to their residents. You just, you know, weaken one, you weaken all. There's better use of the money, and it's at the expense of the taxpayers, basically.
Okay. How do you respond to that?
There's a lot of myths associated with things that Michael said. The fact of the matter is our police department would never encourage such a technology if it didn't bring more safety, ever. And there's nobody in the police department that's getting raised by having a red light camera. The fact of the matter is that it has improved safety. And if it saves one life, it's worth it. If you have a problem with the red light camera, I recommend you don't run red lights. It's that simple. And the fact of the matter is that we are very diligent about our safety in Lacey. And this light has been successful for what its purpose was, and there's nothing more to it. And for the community, I'd recommend that we sit down later on and talk about the facts and really have a forum on this to demystify it for people.
Well, that ends the time we have for the questions. However, each one of you has an opportunity for closing remarks. Each one of you has a minute to say whatever it is you want to say. And we'll start with you, Michael.
Like I said, I'm Mike Steadman. I'm a concerned business guy, 8 years in the Marines. We have to attract more business. We got to make it easier on them. People say they're pro-business, but are they really? It's all the tax money based off that is what our city runs on. I don't talk the talk, I walk the walk. I have a proven track record. I run a successful business. I have plenty of experience on boards and councils. Major endorsements of mine are Thurston County Sheriff John Snaza, Port of Olympia Bill McGregor. It goes on and on. State employees 443. My home local Sheet Metals Workers 66. Several businesses in Lacey, Sound Landscaping, professionals, Certain Victory Enterprises. It just goes on and on. I have the right answers. I'll do the work for you, and I don't run red lights.
Jason.
I'm Jason Hearn. I'm running for re-election to Lacey City Council. Some of my endorsements include Tom Nelson, the mayor of the city of Lacey, Virgil Clarkson, the deputy mayor of the city of Lacey, also Kim Wyman, our Thurston County auditor. This is an important time in Lacey. We are strong, and we've done a lot in the last 4 years. It's a new council. We have a new city manager. I seek your re-election so that we can carry on the vision of Lacey and its growth into the future from our position right now, which is strong. Even though we have a tight economy, our future is very bright. And this is not the time for a new council member in this position. We don't want to drop the ball. Things are going well. They're going strong. We're very pro-business. It's been proven in the news. And I thank you for your past support, and I ask you for your vote for re-election for Lacey City Council for Jason Hearn. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, both of you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. And I would like to say to our listening and watching public, please do not forget to vote. Voting is your privilege. Voting is also your responsibility. Take advantage of it. Thank you.